I didn't realize that it looked kind of sick. I wanted to start a new series where I talk about some of my favorite things that I did in February. I don't think I ever really talked about this on here, but I moved to New York City early September of last year, but I actually left for 2.5 months because I was feeling really overwhelmed. I think that feeling is actually pretty normal. It's really easy to romanticize what you think your life is gonna be like in New York City and then be faced with this almost rude awakening of the reality that your life is not what you thought it would be. I came back halfway through January just because I was also really sick in January. My immune system is totally doing its job. I was really inspired to make this video because I see Cami do it, her favorite movies and like films and songs that she's listened to throughout the month. Starting with books, I read Creature by Amina Kane this month. It's actually really easy to read. It has notes of Lin Ma in the sense that like whenever she writes something, a little bit of like this magical realism that she has in her writing that is just so good in my opinion. But it's also very similar to Early Morning Riser by Catherine Haney and also Happy Hour by Marlo Granados. Kind of a book about nothing, but also just feeling like a constant spectator in your life. I feel like Creature was able to put down all my thoughts onto paper and just really express the way that I feel, so I would really recommend Creature. I recommended it to two of my best friends who are also really into reading. Going into movies, I'm not a really big movie person. I think a lot of it is because growing up first gen, my parents never really watched movies or really knew what movies to watch, and so I haven't watched a lot of movies, I'd say. Okay, let's just leave it at that. For this month, I watched Frances Ha, which I personally really liked. It's also kind of this like coming of age story when you're kind of chaotic in New York City and you don't have everything figured out, but you can't help but really love her character and empathize with her at the different states of her life. The second movie that I watched that I also really liked is The Menu. I think when I first watched The Menu, I was like, wait, what the heck? What really sold it for me is kind of reading into the little nuances and watching all the different YouTube videos of people analyzing and interpreting their own view of the menu. And then I was like, wow, I think like me as a creator, someone who like operates in this like bookish realm, I also really understand a lot of the hatred that the chef has. I think sometimes when you're really into something and then you start monetizing it, it kind of creates more people having hands into the things that you make or the expectations that they have of you. If you want to watch a movie that has no real plot, I would recommend Ocean Waves. This is a movie that you can turn on in the background while you're doing something else. I personally just really liked it because the music was fantastic. It was cute. I thought it was filmed really well, even though it's an animation. Just like all the scenes and the transitions and like the framing that they did was just really touching. Some new things that I tried this month is Pottery. It was just really great to kind of remember the process of like handling clay and how gentle you have to be. Another event that I went to this month that I also really enjoyed is Patricia Park's, I guess, debut of her new novel, Imposter Syndrome and Other Confessions of Alejandra Kim. I really like this, not because I've read the book or because I know Patricia Park, but because being in this environment with all of these like older Korean ladies that like reminded me of my mom and also reminded me of my childhood and like reminded me of the Korean Christian church that I grew up in was strangely nostalgic and comforting. I just really got to witness like the beauty of community and community support, and yeah, I don't know, it's just like a heart-touching event. I really like going to like authors debut stuff. It was hosted at the Strand on their 3rd floor in their rare books room, so that was also really cool to see the space. The last new thing that I am trying this month is freehand crochet. I've never done freehand crochet before, and I think it's always kind of scared me, and the thing I liked about crocheting is the fact that not only is it just forgiving, but it's easy to be perfect about it almost. You know, you like count your rows and everything just like looks really nice and stacked and ordered. I'm making this custom piece for this girl that I met at the second rodeo pop-up. All these creatives kind of selling their work and showcasing their work. This is kind of what it looks like so far. It's a bolero. The arm is panning out like this. It looks like nothing for now, but I need to like sew all the little puffs together. It is my most avant-garde piece that I have ever made. Another thing that I started for myself this month is adult ballet classes. Yes, very fun. I like it. I would also recommend. On the note of being a hardcore believer in investing in your hobbies. I bought myself a piano this month. My hands were just literally itching to play the piano, and I remember when I first got it and I was trying to remember how to play, and I was just absolutely fucking awful. I was like, dang, this was the worst investment I've ever made in my life. But I think there's something also really beautiful about making time to sit down on the piano and play something. I think it reminds me of this principle that I like to live by, where, you know, nothing really comes easy. You're not supposed to be perfect at the first try. It's also really encouraging to see daily progress. And I think I really see that come into fruition, especially when I play piano. I've decided to not do my favorite songs of this month just because my music taste is truly just all over the place. But my Spotify link is somewhere in my bio, and you can always like follow along to the playlist that I make. I always make monthly playlists. Okay, I think that brings us to the end of everything that I really enjoyed about the month of February. February is also my favorite month because I personally really love seeing men carrying flowers in general, but you see it the most on Valentine's Day, or like a few days before or a few days after. So it's just been, I don't know, just really cute. I wanted to close with some things that I'm actually looking forward to in this new month. I'm getting an art studio, which is so crazy to me. I feel so excited. I can't stop talking about it, essentially. So me and 4 other friends, we've all decided to commit to an art studio, and I don't know, I think I just really miss being in a studio space. Another thing I'm looking forward to is I'm seeing Hamilton this Saturday, actually. I've been on this like Broadway kick. I'm excited to see Hamilton. I don't know, like everyone says Hamilton's amazing. I love seeing people perform and sing and dance, and it just really makes me appreciate the art of performance. The last thing that I'm looking forward to this month is actually going home. I don't know, I just always love coming home. It's like really nice being in New York City, but I am truly a suburban girl at heart, so yes. And I will talk to you later, hopefully when I'm not ill anymore, because that would be really great. Okay, bye!